boy. And I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You already know what it is. We back. And yo, we finna step into these TikToks, man, because I've been seeing some and I've been hearing a lot about others, and you know what? We're gonna go and do that. You know what I'm talking about? So we got some conspiracy theory TikTok compilations. And looks like this is a part 4, so we gonna try to find them other ones. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, I hope everybody good out there, cause I'm good. For the most part, yeah, I cannot complain, man. Just trying to protect my energy. You know what I'm saying? So many energetic vampires out there, just trying to just get at your boy. So I be just trying to protect my energy when I be out and about. You know what I'm saying? Of course, head on the swivel. But yeah, man, I hope everybody good out there. You know what I'm saying? Cause I am, like I said, I am. Without further ado, though, you know what we do. I hope you got what you need. Let's get it busting.
This was a famous Spanish model who was invited to an Illuminati party. She ran out from everything she had seen. Listen.
Know about these, know about these. When I try,
What if I
see?
told you that the year might
See?
actually be 1724?
We already know what happened
In
to
the
her.
1990s, several German historians proposed a radical idea that the Middle Ages, in fact, didn't exist and we are actually living in the 18th century. In 1582, the Pope introduced the Gregorian calendar. Prior to this, most of the world was using the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar had a leap year every 4 years, in which an extra day was added. Since the solar year is technically a little over 365 days, the Julian calendar gains a day every 128 years. To account for this, when the Gregorian calendar was introduced, they should have shifted the date by 13 days. So here we have two possibilities.
It
If
should have
Pope
never
had done
came
math
with time,
wrong,
period.
300 years in between then and now don't actually exist, and large chunks of history have been fabricated. But the phantom time hypothesis points
all
out
of
that it's
history
way
has
more
been
than just the Pope
fabricated.
making a simple mistake. It points out the lack of records of big events.
Everyone knows about Epstein Island,
But y'all,
but have you heard
y'all
about
don't know the half.
Rothschild's Island?
I don't even know who that is.
The Rothschilds are like the most mainstream name when it comes to the Illuminati.
Oh,
Everybody
no.
knows about them. But yeah, they bought an island off the coast of Antarctica. Why would you want an island in Antarctica?
Why would anyone go to Antarctica?
I think there could be like secret tunnels they have built in under there.
Your go-to is always secret tunnels.
There's no other reason for them to have an island.
Penguins?
That's what compromise looks like. When they on the tape or they part
Well,
of the
here's
tape.
some further proof. If you haven't watched my hidden symbolism and true video, go watch now. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the badges of Justin's brand. First up, we have the panda, which we all know what that refers to. We have already covered this one in another video, but with the Drew in this font upside down, it really resembles hell. This obviously speaks for itself. This design was on a top. As you can see, the Drew on the pepperoni pizza symbolizing he was the...
What do you think are the most serious issues faced by conservationists and world
He
wildlife
wasn't.
over the next 20 years?
He's a law.
95% of the whole of the Atlantic
A vegetable.
rainforest in Brazil has disappeared in the last 100 years. There is simply nowhere for these animals to live. At the basis of it all is this colossal increase in the human population. It's one of the living species of the planet, but it's reaching
Did a TV channel just accidentally play out Prince Philip's obituary before he had died? Well, according to social media reports,
Still ain't
yes.
gonna work.
So an eagle-eyed Twitter user managed to capture the moment on camera that the
We are
BBC
part of the
allegedly
plan.
switches over from a live broadcast of
You're
an
right.
MP
So it
to
ain't-
random 1930s clips of the Duke of Edinburgh. In the live broadcast, the MP is cut off live to switch over to black and white clips of Prince Philip. The black and white video plays out twice before becoming glitchy, and then the screen turns to black. At the end of
He
the
was
video, the
stressed out, wasn't
BBC
he?
puts out an apology. Other social media users also claimed they saw the same thing, with this man tweeting out, "Did someone press the emergency Prince Philip obituary button during the Salmond inquiry?" To which he was met with comments agreeing. Well, there's no evidence to suggest that the clip came from an obituary piece. What I can tell you from
I
someone
mean,
who
he
works in
looked like
media
he
is that
wasn't
these
too
things
far from
are
checking
prepared
out.
in advance.
I
They
wouldn't
make a
be
hole
surprised.
in, and they tie string around, and then they put all around the body, but they're naked, and they got this tattoo on the private with like little piercings.
Okay.
Not like earrings, but like little gold piercings around the private.
Yeah.
And they all dance around with skulls on in the church there.
Okay.
So they have skulls, like the teachers and the staff. They got 20 skulls each.
And how do you know they've got 20?
And they call my
Yes,
brothers
because I
and sisters
counted once. There were
savages in the
like
street.
there's one here, and then
And
there's
we
one
savage.
here, and there's one on neck here. Like they looks like skulls everywhere on the knees,
And we
on
savage.
the elbows. It looks like armor.
Okay. So if I was to try and find these skulls, where would I
Yes,
find them?
yes, in the church.
Where in the church?
So there's the secret rooms. They got secret rooms.
Go on. Tell me, how do I find this secret?
So when you go in the secret rooms, because they hide it in loads of places.
Would
They
you be
hide
able
it
to help
in-
me find them, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
but they just hide them anywhere. They just hide it like in one place, then they move to other place, then they move to other place. There's just
Okay, so I go into the church now.
yes, and they hide. Usually they hide it in their houses
How
because
do
they
you
have
know that?
parties in their houses.
That's why I
Because
watch
Mr.
my
Collins,
hands
my
up.
teacher,
Right
he
there.
lives in
At
Highgate.
Christ Church.
Right.
Yes.
That's why I
You can
stepped. That's
see
why I just
his
stepped.
house
I
because
had
he's
to.
Porsche. He got Porsche, and it's just at the front of his house.
Okay. So
Listen to
how do you know
her.
he keeps
Why
them?
would she lie?
Because I know because of.
Do not search for the
Because she was
terms
there.
discussed in this video on
Why would she
Yandex
lie?
or elsewhere, as you could be committing a
no reason
crime.
why.
The findings have been reported to
Too
authorities,
young.
and the research supervised by legal counsel.
Too
No
many
illegal
details.
imagery is shown. Do not contact or harass anyone mentioned.
What's a conspiracy? Define that.
After thinking for a while on how to best disseminate the information I've received,
Okay.
I've settled on dropping this particular
What do you
discovery
think is going on
in its
behind
own
you?
shorter video.
The problem now
It's
is
hid-
that
it's
people,
hidden in plain
now
sight.
know that I'm interested in lost glove photos.
And the rest
Oh,
of the
wow.
leads and new testimonies will be in
Here we
part
go.
3.
And then they made each little boy in turn come up.
I'm doing this because I consider this finding a bit more time sensitive, and I've already received veiled threats and attempts to hack my social media.
Oh, so we finna delve deep.
I knew I might receive
Let's
some
delve
trolls
deep.
when giving out an email and asking for information, which on one hand has proven remarkably useful. But I wasn't prepared for how sophisticated some of these phishing attempts would be. While some are, of course, benign spam attempts that we all get,
Oh, I mean,
others
you
seem
know.
designed solely to intimidate, like trying to reset my Twitter password, or calling my phone, but not saying anything. Among the threats I've received was this one. Quote, "You have no idea what you are getting into here, or what kind of danger you are in. Think enemy of the state means arrival. Stay far away from," and then it shows my location. Let's assume for a second that this person's not a troll, and they really do know something I don't.
Y'all
Well,
dirty
then,
too,
what
boy.
is it exactly that I'm getting into here? What is it? that I am in danger of.
On looking into it, it appeared that this girl was one of many.
A former Scotland Yard detective, John Wedger, was part of a small team investigating allegations in London.
We had dozens of young kids aging from 9 to 14 years old.
But when Officer Wedger, quote, dug too deep, he was given a similar warning.
I was brought before someone who is now a very, very high-ranked officer in the UK indeed. And he said, you will be thrown to the wolves. You have no idea who and what you are dealing with. He said, I'm warning you now, you must back away.
Although it can be disconcerting, and at times I do wonder if what I'm doing here is even worth it. As of now, I have no intention of stopping.
I peeped game of what subject we was on. We already been hitting to it already.
No.
Peep game.
The new information you're about to see ostensibly involves Tom Hanks.
First of all, it looks like an ad for Chevy.
Whether or not Hanks is aware of any of this remains to be seen.
Right.
Nonetheless, some of the images he's posted to his social media are not only relevant to the findings, it's how they were discovered. The person who provided this tip wishes to remain anonymous under the alias Veritas Fatior. But why Tom Hanks? An actor I've loved since I was a kid. A man whose films are consistently inspirational, influential, and iconic. This is true. But it's also true that recently, a new range of theories have begun to emerge, showing a different side to the Hollywood actor. Many of the claims are unfounded and nonsensical. I'm not saying they're all bullshit, but as I did with part 1, no theories will be given, just information and context. So one reason some have recently changed their perspective of Hanks surrounds the testimony of a former Hollywood actor.
Yo, if it's true what he was doing or what he was doing, I'm talking about, because I'm sure by now everybody done heard about, you know what I mean, the island and all that, and, you know what I'm saying, in the volleyball, in the red face with the, you know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, the red hand, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, well, you know, it becoming them true selves, man. The animal is taking over, you know what I'm saying? Being consumed with all that. Come on, man. It's only so long. Only so long. You feel me? Only so long before you just, you gone. And I mean, I try to tell folk, but you know, I guess now, you know what I'm saying, we got to get to the years now where we're viewing it, stuff that I was trying to tell people that, you know what I mean, but here it is now. So just peep the stories. I mean, they've been putting clues in your face the whole time, y'all. The whole time. I was into the music thing, so I was I ain't gonna say deep on within or anything like that, but it's just it was things that was going on. I'll leave it at that for now. You feel me? So I already know what's up.
Isaac Cappy.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble, all this information is new.
Isaac claimed that within Hollywood, a high society is involved
It's only new because people didn't want to believe.
Tom Hanks. Tom fucking Hanks, guys. Pedophile. Called out, no response.
Information he claimed was privy to because of his time spent among Hollywood's gentility.
I'm in their source code. These people are being taken up north to San Francisco. Some sort of R&D project for a new Terminator.
And this, make no mistake, this is a cult. There is a widespread
Ain't
cult
playing, man.
that is worldwide. And by the way, the proof is in the fucking pudding. If I'm lying, sue me. Sue me. Great. Let's go to court. Let's have
Because if
discovery.
he was, that would have
As
been
Cappy's
happening.
following grew,
It would have
he
been
took
happening.
measures to ensure his safety, one of which he alleged included a, quote, dead man's switch.
What does that do? it means they can't kill me, which is good because I like to stay alive. A dead man switch is basically it's like if you die, then like stuff happens. Okay, like information goes out. They can try to kill me. You know.
Try.
Good luck with that.
Many
Boy,
expected
they were
Cappy
bunny.
to
Boy,
continue
they were
expanding
off you, bro.
on his
You don't get
testimony.
no.
Instead, he
Man, they
uploaded
don't
one
get
of his final
two.
videos.
My anger at these people, my anger consumed me. Did I lie about
If they ain't got to,
Sudbury's a pedophile?
then they probably
Am I
won't.
afraid of something?
But if you force
Well,
that hand,
they
gonna try to
It
step
should
on
be,
you.
because bad things are coming
So
my
you
way.
gotta be ready. You gotta be
3
ready to
days
step
later,
back. Cause they
Cappy
coming.
was found dead in what local authorities assert was a suicide.
Yeah, called him.
It's worth noting that Cappy was asked here if he currently felt suicidal.
I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal.
There you go.
Purportedly, Cappy
Good
jumped
word.
from that bridge and was hit by a truck. Soon after,
Yes.
a controversial video began making its rounds on the internet.
When does obvious become obvious? That's what I'm on. When does obvious become obvious? When? Yo.
You promised you wouldn't hurt my mom and dad if I came back, right?
Hey, man. Hold up.
I won't hurt you either.
A woman named Sarah Ruth Ashcraft accused Tom Hanks of purchasing her from her father. She claims to have most of her childhood.
I depersonalize a lot of this because it's really ugly, tough stuff. I'm glad something's being done about it now.
Damn, Tom, what you do? What you do to make them toss you out like that, though?
Memories and realize that the things that
You
they
had to have done something,
thought
though,
were
for them to
just
toss you out like that.
meaningless and innocent, or anything but that. Nobody should have to discover these things about their own life.
I noticed you have this obsession.
She said, discover
on
these things.
Instagram with
Discover
lost
these
gloves.
things about
Well,
her
it's
own life.
lost objects, but it started
She
with
didn't
lost
even know.
gloves. And first of all, there's a story behind
Bleaching
them all.
your mind.
What happened to his
That's
mate? How did this glove
well, she
glove
got
get lost?
MIB, didn't it?
Is someone going to
She got
keep the other
MIB.
glove at home on the off chance that they're going to pair it up? It's a little bit of, Romeo and Juliet kind of quality to it.
You're saying there's a little bit of a hint of sadness to these. It's like it's telling you a tale, but you don't know what the
Yeah,
tale
it's
is.
all
their
bittersweet
reaction.
city
Hit-
adventure.
Let's take a look
hit
at
you-
some of these.
Hey.
I want to put this up. This is one you took, and
Yeah. Now
tell me what's going on here. What is this so
telling you
evocative
what
to
it
you?
is.
Well, first of all, I don't touch them. I just see them and I photograph them. So I have
You
never.
don't want your DNA on those.
Well, it could be a crime scene. And let's not give the cops a break.
Hidden in plain sight. Let's not
Notice
get those
that in
cops
this
a break.
image, we see another glove. Notice that in this image, we see another glove. But this time, we also see letters. Look closely.
Disbelief is
and
why
spell them
why
out
this
for
takes
yourself.
place so long.
What does
Disbelief is why this goes on for so long. I just gotta be real.
R-C? What does the bottom row spell? U-S-A. Here's what happens when you run a search for SRC USA on DuckDuckGo. It shows nothing out of the ordinary. The same goes for the Images tab. In And the same also goes for Google. In the trailer update video I uploaded prior, I provided tips for independent researchers to use. Among those was to utilize multiple search engines, including the Russian search engine Yandex. It's important to understand that just like Google or Bing, Yandex does not show child pornography and is not to be confused with a dark web search engine, many of which lead to an array of CP, no matter what you type in. In Part 3, we'll attempt to expose an apparent distributor who operates within these networks. Back to Yandex. To further emphasize how similar Yandex is to Google, here are some control searches. When typing kids, the images are as they should be.
Okay, the music getting suspenseful. We may have to cover our eyes, though.
The same goes for any other mixture of SRC. So if we search RCS, RCS USA,
viewer discretion,
and some others,
please be advised.
All of them are fine. But what happens if we type in SRC USA?
What the? That's why I don't deal with politics. Look at that. He had to blur them junks. He had to blur. What y'all talking about, boy? Look at that.
I showed how the term BH Kids was almost certainly a pedophile code, as it revealed indecent images of children on Google, some of which cryptically, but there are some who claimed I was making a mistake, pointing to the German use of BH, which means bra. This definitely helps to explain why, quote, bra was found next to many of the images, but it does not explain the BH Kids logo on the Vietnamese YouTube channel, where I found the term in the first place. Furthermore, one of the most suggestive images BH Kids pulled up was of this young girl who I've chosen to pixelate, given that the image has already been printed onto a foreign newspaper. Now, if Google's suggestion of this image only had to do with the German word for bra typed next to kids, and not potentially indicative of a larger operation, then how do you explain this?
Explain it, folks. Explain it.
All day yesterday doing a shoot with Pizza Slime Blog. Was that fun for you?
And he know I don't even want to see. I don't even want to see.
SRC, which is typically short for source or search, appears to act, in this case, as a kind of algorithmic glue for online predators on Yandex. These images are then collected and shared on Yandex profiles.
The Vatican is likely the most corrupt institution in our world.
Think about
the
that.
Vatican is no stranger to
May want to run that
murder,
back.
child trafficking, drug
Run
trafficking,
that back, slow that
sex
down, take that in.
exploitation, and cover-ups. Arguably one of the most famous basilicas in the world, underneath it lies a mass graveyard. So located about 5 stories beneath the basilica is actually another temple dating back to the Roman Empire. That's over 2,000 years of dead bodies. If you're wondering if those bodies are of Christians or Catholics, they're not. It was actually used for pagans. And here are some of the mosaic tiles that they found beneath the Vatican in the temple that it's built on top of. So here's a quote from one of the popes. I believe that the church not only should apologize to the person who is gay, whom it has offended, but it has to apologize to the poor, to the exploited women, to children exploited for labor. It has to ask forgiveness for having blessed many weapons. That's a little ironic considering what the Vatican has done to make sure that it's always protected and people never expose them. This is Pope John Paul I, and he died 33 days after his election. Now, the conspiracy around his death is that he found out the Vatican was laundering mass amounts of money, and he was going to rectify the situation of getting rid of everybody in the Vatican that was corrupt. His plans were announced straight after he became the Pope, and he died 33 days later. In 2015, it was uncovered that 2 cases of child were found within the Vatican walls. And get this, not everybody involved was named. Only a couple names took the blow for everybody else in the Vatican. And then the year before that, the government actually intercepted 3 deliveries directed to the Vatican, all containing drugs. Cocaine was found in condoms inside of these 3 deliveries that were intercepted. They were handed over to the Vatican in hopes that somebody within the walls would disclose who this was going to, but nobody came forward. This is St. Peter's obelisk, and not a lot of people know where it comes from. One of Rome's cruelest emperors, Caligula, actually stole this from one of Egypt's cities, Heliopolis. Stole it from Egypt and he transported it to Rome, and you know what he did with it? It was used to murder and execute Christians. They would round up every single Christian that they could find, chain them, bound them, bring them to the obelisk, and brutally murder them. Vatican books is called the Grand Grimoire or the Red, and this book is about black magic. It harnesses spells and rituals, but many believe this is the book that they use to summon the devil when they are selling their souls, kind of like the Book of the Illuminati. The conspiracies of the Vatican can go on and on and on. It's truly a never-ending cycle. One thing we do know, the people in the Vatican are evil and corrupt. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
My thing is this. If the Vatican is indeed corrupt, allegedly, then what makes every single church branched off from it? You know what I mean? What do you say? Look at the fruit. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at the fruit that the Vatican produced in the churches, and you got this deal going all over the place. So if it's happening, if it's coming from the top, and we see the top of the top doing it, and then we're catching churches all around the place, around, you know what I mean, the planet doing it, no more conspiracy. I mean, come on, man. Listen, to be honest with y'all, I really didn't want to finish that. I mean, I'm just kind of like, I was over it, to be real with you. I just wanted to go ahead and get through that. So, I mean, we can bring awareness. I mean, come on, man. I don't do conspiracy. I don't do conspiracies at all. It's either it is what it is or it's not. I don't do coincidence. I mean, when it's there, it's there. When it's there in plain sight, when you can see it, you can see it. And I mean, good gracious, dude. I mean, it gets worse than that, y'all. I mean, I'm pretty listen, What y'all think? What y'all think? I think we should stay on these TikTok, man. I think this is Now we keep pulling them right there now, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to just cut it short or something, cause I can't just keep, you feel me? I have, you know what I'm saying, of my own, so you feel me? I'm playing with mine and just, it's gonna be something.